everybody. Welcome back to Jessica's Reading Room. My name is Kim and we are here for another monthly wrap-up video. Woohoo! We just finished April 2020. I will admit that I have a rather large pile of books this month, but to be honest with you, I'd rather not discuss why, simply because it just causes me a lot of anxiety and depression because I just don't like change and I just want to go to Walmart in the middle of the night. So instead of discussing all the outside things that happened in April, we're just gonna get straight to what Kim read in the month of April. Shall we? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with, I think I talked about this in the last video. I'm not entirely sure. I think I ended up including it. I don't know. I can't really remember because you'd think I'd go back and rewatch videos that I've made, but I don't, so I don't know. But we have The House of Secrets by Darcy Coates. I read this duology. It started with The House of Shadows. It is a duology, so I ended up finishing this. I'm pretty sure I finished this on April 1st. So we're just going to include it in April, shall we? Okay, great. It's creepy. It's gothic. Is it my favorite horror book? No, but it's still pretty good. So I was like, okay, all right, why not? And plus the cover. Love it. All right, so then I also have the end of another series, the Day of Honor, Star Trek Day of Honor series. This is book number 4, Treaties Law. This actually takes place in the original series, Star Trek, with Captain Kirk, Spock, and Dr. McCoy. But it does actually keep the focus on the Klingons. And this actually shows the origins of the Day of Honor because it is not an ancient festival. It actually started when Kirk helped the Klingons against this unknown enemy, and they realized that actually your enemy can have just as much honor as you do. Who would have thunk it? So I finished that. This is book number 4. Ta-da. All right. Then I read another book by C.B. Clavin. Love her so much. I swear, those of you who watch these videos and who follow Jessica's Reading Room, if you haven't read any of her books yet, what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing with your life? We're waiting for an answer. She writes these awesome horror stories. Oh my gosh. Because last year, 2 of her books ended up on my top 10. Love her so much. I actually have another one of her books sitting here waiting to be read. This is actually her first ever public work. It is called Ensnared. It is about Amari and her family who move to this new, old farm to try a different life. And she finds a book where a little girl claims to have been put in there by a witch. Now, I will admit this is not my favorite of her books. You can tell it's her first published work, but it's still actually really good. I still really liked it. It's one of those things where I was like, oh, okay, so that's where she started out. I just recently read her most recent book, and that's how she is now. And oh my gosh, she's still awesome. Boom. So yes, so Ensnared by C.B. Clavin, I gave it 4 stars out of 5. Oh, I probably should have given you my stars for the others. I don't know. See, the weird, I don't know. Ensnared by C.B. Clavin. Read between the lines. Okay. Next, we have The Monster of Elendhaven by Jennifer Giesbrecht? You'd think 4 years of German, I would actually be able to say things. 3 years of German, I don't know. But The Monster of Elendhaven, ta-da. This book has actually been on my list for a very long time, but I'm not going to lie to you. Ivan got me this for my birthday, and looking at the picture, I was like, whoa, The Monster of Elendhaven, yes! And then I picked it up, and look at how tiny it is. I was shocked, because I was actually expecting like this huge tome, but nope, it's actually just this little book, and it was really easy to read, and for being, I think it was kind of, sort of metaphorical without being like overtly metaphorical. it was still very literal, but I actually felt like I got this story. Basically, it follows this random serial killer, and it just talks about his life in the city of Ellenhaven, how he's not the only monster who lives there. But it's creepy, it's chilling. Is it like this crazy ghost story? No. But for those who want to read horror but don't like horror, this is actually a pretty good one because it's very grounded in reality. It's far more slasher than it is anything else. I thought it was really great. And this cover, dude, this cover. You guys know I'm all about the covers. All right, then we have, Kim read another Stephen King book. And I'm actually currently reading a Stephen King book right now. I feel so accomplished. So see, I'm not a horrible, book nerd now who's never read Stephen King. I'm actually reading more Stephen King. Yes. And I got the entire Finders Keepers series for my birthday. Okay, so I read The Girl Who Loved, what's his name? Tom Gordon. Basically, this little girl gets lost in the woods, and the entire book is about how she finds her way back. Is something hunting her in the woods? Are people even looking for her? What's going to happen? There's a lot of just walking through the woods. So I will say that this is not my favorite Stephen King novel, but considering the fact that there was a lot of walking in the woods, I actually really liked it. I read it in one sitting. Like, I'm pretty sure it took me all of 2 hours, like total, to read it, and I read it in one night. So I really liked it. It was really good. Again, is this my favorite Stephen King? No, but considering that it wasn't my favorite Stephen King, I still really liked it. So there you go. There it is. All right. My pile of books just went flying. Okay. Is it just me, or is my lipstick doing weird things? Like, I feel like it's not covering my whole lip, and it's really weird. See, lipsticks are weird for me. I mean, it's already weird enough that I experiment with colors. I get that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my gosh, I know how to do lipstick and I know how to do them all perfectly. But I like experimenting, but I don't know how to get it all the way to where it like completely covers. I don't like how when I talk, you can still see my uncovered lips. That just annoys me. So if you have any suggestions, that would be great. I would love to hear it because, again, Kim is just, I just do weird things, okay? There's no rhyme nor reason to what I do. I just decided to, I mean, look, there's black here. I was like, oh, black on my lips and like grayish eyeshadow. It's just what I do. So that's honestly as much thought as goes into this as anything else. Okay. All right, next we have Olivia Twist by Lori Langdon. Basically, this is kind of sort of a retelling of Oliver Twist. I'm not going to lie to you. I've never read Oliver Twist. I have read Dickens, so I am literate. I've just never read Oliver Twist, and I've never watched Oliver Twist. I've watched Oliver and Company, which I realize that it's Disney, so it doesn't really count because Disney loves changing stuff. But I've never read Oliver Twist, so I have absolutely no idea how this would compare to Oliver Twist. So we're going to say that it's an awesome retelling of Oliver Twist. I actually really liked this book. Normally, if you guys haven't picked up on this yet, I'm not real big on female characters. I don't know why. I never have been. I always prefer male characters. But I really liked Olivia. I liked how she's very realistic. Langdon could have turned this into one of those all poor people are good, all rich people are bad type situations. But no, it was just that most people are bad with a couple of good people thrown in. And I was like, wow, I like it. I like it. So I really enjoyed this book. I mean, I would assume that it sticks close to the character of Oliver Twist. Again, I feel really bad that I can't get into that because I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to read Oliver Twist now. I don't know. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. If you like that Victorian, Dickensian type story, this is a good one. Plus, Ivan, it was really funny because I totally told him, I was like, it was very Dickensian. And he goes, what? I was like, Charles Dickens, Dickensian. And he's like, I'm pretty sure you're just making up words again. Nope, I'm not. I even had to look it up for him to show him. So I'm not the only illiterate in the house. It's really weird. He's read books that I haven't read yet. I know, it's really weird. And he's homeschooled, so it just, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. See, these are the kind of rabbit trails that add extra time to the video that then annoys everyone because it looks like it's longer than it really. Okay, let's get back to the book, shall we? Okay, next we have Allies by Alan Gratz. You guys know I love Alan Gratz. He is a YA historical fiction writer. The perfect kind of book that all high school and junior high history teachers should have on their shelves. This one was about D-Day, the invasion of Normandy. It shows several sides. It was all about in the perspective of different people. It was really good. It actually kind of showed, again, it showed different perspectives. You've got the people, you know, the men storming the beaches. You have the French resistance. You had the regular French people in the countryside. You had the Germans. It had so many different perspectives. I will admit that at some points there were so many different perspectives that I kind of forgot who everyone was, but that's kind of my only real criticism of this book, if that makes any kind of sense. But I really liked it. And again, a fabulous cover. He's always got really awesome covers. I mean, for being relatively straightforward, I mean, his covers are always some of my favorites. Okay, all right, so next we have Star Trek Discovery Drastic Measures. This was my first book in the Discovery series. As you guys have heard me talking about, I've only just recently started watching Star Trek Discovery. I finished the second season last night. Loved it. They need to announce season 3 because I need to know what happens. And I need to know if Shazad Latif is going to be back in because I love him. I need to know it. And I need to know if we get to see more Klingons because I also love the Klingons. This is also one of those really glary books. I have to make sure that I'm holding it to where you see it and not the glare. Okay, there we go. All right, Drastic Measures is about the story of Tarsus 4, something that we actually were introduced to back in the original series with Jim Kirk. What? I even ended up watching that episode again to make sure I remembered what was going on. Kodos the Executioner takes over as governor and ends up killing half the population to try and save the other half from starvation. Commanders Lorca and Giorgio actually come and get involved and try and figure it all out. It was pretty good. My video review actually just posted, so if you'd like to hear my thoughts on this book, ta-da! I mean, it's Jason Isaacs and Michelle Yeoh. Perfection. I know. But if you want to go see that review, go look on the YouTube page, which you are on right now watching this video. There you go. All right, next we have Defeating the Demon Lord's Cinch by this person and illustrated by Bob. So see, that's the author and Bob illustrated. Again, I have slaughtered the Japanese, Korean, Asian languages multiple times since I started reading like the manga / these kinds of books. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to say it was written by that person on the front cover. Because again, I don't want to offend people. I do that enough on my own anyways. Okay, so I actually was given this for my birthday. Adam, which is a very well-known person here at Jessica's Reading Room, he realized that I can't do manga or graphic novel type stuff. My brain doesn't work that way. So this is an actual novel, but just kind of manga stories, if that makes any kind of sense, and illustrated with manga type illustrations. I don't know. We may have to have another video where Adam kind of explains what these novels are. I think there's a name. Light novel? Light novel? Okay, I don't know. But anyway, he got this for me and said he thinks I would really enjoy it. And actually, I did. I have not written the review for this yet. I am going to very soon. I actually really did enjoy it. He also gave me volume 2. I know he is currently reading volume 3. I have no idea how many others there are. But I liked it. I enjoyed it. I will hopefully continue to read this. Basically, a hero is called from another world to help defeat the demon lord. And Ares' crown, whose perspective most of the book is told in, is instructed by the church to help the hero along. And it's nothing but kinks and bumps and monkey wrenches the entire time. And it was actually pretty funny. So it was actually, and I would like it noted, I guessed the plot twist. Okay, next we have a indie author. It is Stephanie Johnson. She wrote Asylum Obscura. Who, duh. Those of you who know me know that of course I was going to pick this book up. I'm not that hard to figure out. Okay, that's just how it is. I picked it up. Basically, Charlotte inherits Cliffmore House from her grandfather when he dies. She decides to renovate them into townhouses and condos and apartments. But of course, it's a haunted hospital. So things never go according to plan. And you get to see all the ghosts and the spirits. I also don't think this review has been posted yet either. So be on the lookout for that. Plus this cover. I mean, considering how simplistic this cover is, I'm actually really in love with it. So there you go. All right, next. Yes, we have another haunted hospital. This one is Folie. Noun, plural, folies, folly. Oh boy, French madness. Oh no, it's from French. It's not French madness. It is French. And it means madness or insanity. Okay, I'm just going to show you this, all right? Plus this cover, oh my gosh. This might just be one of my favorite covers of the year, at least so far, because it's gorgeous. Basically, a doctor shows up at a asylum in Tennessee. It is severely understaffed, underfunded. There is also a lot of metaphor in this, but it's actually relatively easy to get. If I got it, pretty much anyone else can. She makes this new patient her personal project, but this idea of folie à deux, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce the rest of them because there's a bunch of other ones. I only learned this from watching Criminal Minds, okay? So as soon as they actually mentioned it, I was like, oh, I know what that is. Ha! Basically, it's the idea of madness spreading. If someone is so set and believes so hard their state of psychosis, that can actually spread to other people. It's the idea that sometimes even the members of the staff members at hospitals can end up being caught up in the psychosis of the patients. Plus, you throw some paranormal stuff in and oh my gosh. So you guys know that I was that duh. You know what I mean? Okay, now hold on. I have to make sure that we've got these done correctly. Okay, so we have a series. This is a Star Trek series. It is a trilogy. It is Star Trek Specter, the Mirror Universe / Shatnerverse, written by William Shatner. And yes, I did have to go back to multiple franchises to watch the Mirror Universe to actually remember everything that was going on. Book number 1 is Specter. Book number 2 is Dark Victory. And then book number 3 is Preservers. Ta-da! Okay, so yes, the idea of a mirror universe that was introduced in the original series. It's also talked about multiple times in Deep Space Nine and talked about in Star Trek Discovery. It's this idea that somewhere along the way, a decision, there were 2 choices. One universe went one way, one universe went the other way. This idea of infinite parallel universes, but for some reason, these 2 universes have been connected. And I will admit, by the time I got to the 3rd book, it went in a completely different way, and I was just kind of sitting there going, what? Shatner, I mean, I loved Specter. The other 2 books were just kind of okay, and I was like, all right. So I'll probably give Shatner another chance, but this is really fascinating. If you're a Star Trek fan, you might want to give these a try because they're interesting in an interesting way. So yeah, oh boy, we're almost at 20 minutes. Okay, so we're not going to be quite at 20 minutes this time. I'm so sorry. Because we still have best and worst. Okay, let's do worst. Worst is actually, I hate to say it, but worst is actually really easy. It was Asylum Obscura. Once the review posts, you'll be able to see why. I really dislike that because it makes me unhappy. It makes me really unhappy, but and best, actually, I think I'm gonna have to actually say that Star Trek Specter was my best. Shatner totally, ooh, there's something weird on the front of that. That's odd. Okay. Shatner totally drew me in with this. I mean, if there was any book that is so totally Star Trek, and it's obvious that somebody has a, you know, a thumb on the pulse of a character, it was Shatner and Captain Kirk. I really loved this book. It was really, really good. Okay, so there we go. Most favorite, least favorite. There's the month of April. I read 14 books. 14 books. It's kind of a big deal because normally I read like 8 or 9. So that's a lot of reading that I did. I will admit I could have read more, but then I started playing Far Cry 5 and I ended up getting distracted by that. Okay, all right, no more rabbit trails. There we go, the month of April 2020. Hopefully you guys were relatively impressed with my list of books. Hopefully you guys have been able to keep yourself occupied through April. Hopefully all of this will end very, very soon. Dear Lord, please help it to end soon because I don't think I'm going to be able to make it much longer. So there we go. We would love to hear what you guys have been reading. If you have any book suggestions, because I love asylums and haunted hospitals, I would love some suggestions. Make sure you tell us down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.